I think it's about the good and the bads of uncertainty. It's a conversation that's been unfolding in my head as the workshop has unfolded. And I do think, given the work that we've been doing around uncertainty and climate change, there are different forms of uncertainty that we're dealing with. They can be ontological and epistemological. But if we think that uncertainty is endemic to a system, which it is, because there are those unknown unknowns that we have to be prepared for, we can never address them, then I think there is an opportunity to deal with them creatively or embrace them and live with them. But how do we do that? Here, I think there's a challenge of scale, and who are we talking about? Because this activity or practice of embracing and dealing with it creatively involves equations around power. Who is involved? Who's included? Whose imaginaries are we talking about? Whose transformation are we talking about? So I think that's something that's potentially challenging, and we have to tease it out a bit more. It's possible that while we're talking about policy process or global framing of the debates, you can create those policy spaces and engage with the scientific discourses of uncertainty. But these spaces are almost negligent when it comes to local people's lives who are living with uncertainty every day, every hour, who have very constrained capacities and constrained adaptive capacities. So I think that's both the positive side. There is an opportunity out there, but in order to harness it, I think we'll also have to be alert to the fact about power equations. What scales are we talking about? And just to give an example, we have been trying to do some of this in our current project on transformation as praxis, which is funded by the Belmont Forum and led by Professor Laila Mehta at IDS, where we're trying to think about bottom-up approaches and how people in these very marginal environments, which are exposed to climatic risks on an everyday basis. These people are living with some forms of climatic uncertainty, be it droughts, cyclones, or flooding. And how are they dealing with it? That's one part of it. But how are they harnessing or using it, or using that as a hook to find more transformative ways of being, And and I think transformation also is something that we need to unpack further. What does transformation mean and for whom? And our hook is that it means that we are challenging some of the structural inequalities. Then that's transformative. It should facilitate well-being. So the good side of the uncertainty is if that uncertainty facilitates well-being, becomes an opportunity to develop the capacities of people, yes, it's a good harnessing of uncertainty. But if that uncertainty forecloses such positive possibilities, then I think it's a negative uncertainty.